Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Still a few more things we need to take care of, but here it is, an unveiling of our new leaderboard. So I put this together last night with the truck car numbers. Added that today. So we have our whole truck field here lined up and ready to go, and we're looking forward to it. We should have green flag coverage in the next 20 minutes. Really 15 minutes. They said green flag was going to fly around 7:53 p.m. according to, I think, AA. Let's move that over there. Move that over here. These people are being so loud outside, and it's just ticking me off. Unbelievable. I just rejoined YouTube TV, like, right now, because DirecTV was just too delayed, and their app sucks. Denny Hamlin fan says he has Stewart to win. Get my chair fixed and situated. Move back into this stream mode. When I stream NASCAR and NASCAR 25, I move over to the right and I play off my right monitor. It's a higher resolution. It looks a lot better. Can I show the race? No, I cannot show the race. That would get our channel deleted immediately. What I do is we talk about the race, we discuss the race. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, that's what we do. We're just hanging out. And then once we get a replay, if there's a big wreck, if there's a big moment, or if there's a big story, we'll pull it up. And I will show replays. But I do not show it live. That is a bannable offense by YouTube. And NASCAR has taken down one of my streams before. And I was just trying to show an old race. And they still took it down within 10 minutes. So we're not going to play that game with NASCAR. All right, they're getting the command to start the engines. Let's go racing. This is awesome. NASCAR is so back. So many notifications I missed. All right, let me get my headset on. It's under commercial right now. Once we come back from commercial, we should be on track, turning laps. So probably see green flag in about 10 minutes, maybe less. Kicking off the 2026 truck season. All right, I have a gift card for DoorDash. This is not a sponsor. I have a gift card. I'm gonna try to order some kind of food. I have not eaten today. And my wife is still at work. They're having a Valentine's Day event at the place she works at. Who did the music tonight? I have no idea. I think this is just a random track from the YouTube library, and it just loops. If you're talking about the music that's on our stream. So yeah, just some copyright-free music. More than likely. All right, let's go with Five Guys. We'll go with a cheeseburger. All right. They've come back from commercial. We are almost ready to go. I'm so excited. Hope you guys like the new leaderboard. I think it's a big improvement over the old one. I've been working on it for a year now, and it's finally to a point I'm kind of happy with it. All right, they're dialing into Tony Stewart's radio. Tony said he's smart enough to know he's not as ready as he needs to be. That's awesome. That's a veteran experience. Joey also in the booth today. So if you're a fan of the Fords, bet you really like the booth that we have tonight. Oop. All right, there we go. At the race, I have no clue. We didn't tune in time to see the national anthem. We were actually in the middle of a NASCAR 25 stream. I was turning laps in the truck series at Daytona. We ran 75 laps. We were aiming for 100. The game crashed, so we restarted and ran 50 more. And we did end up winning the race in the last lap. In overtime. So pretty awesome. All right, ladies and gents. Dialing up Cletus. I know Cletus has a lot of people tuning in tonight. Cletus might be live on his YouTube channel. With an in-car camera. He's done that in the past. I don't see a live stream for today, so... Yeah, no live stream going right now on his channel, sadly. We're doing pretty well, Ryan. Pretty well. Just some information. If you guys need somewhere to watch the gas drinker, shame on you. Shame on you. If you need somewhere to watch the race, I do have... I might have a resource that'll help. I'll slip it to you under the table. Cletus in truck on the NASCAR channel. So if you guys don't know, NASCAR has a streaming channel, a TV channel, you could say, on Tubi and Roku. I think that's the two platforms they're on. So if you tune into the NASCAR channel on Tubi or Roku, Double A saying they have a Cletus in truck, possibly. So that's always an option. NASCAR channel is fun to watch. They play a bunch of old races. They'll play short track races, dirt races that are live. They have a partnership this year with Flow Racing. Oh, NASCAR channel on YouTube. On YouTube, okay. So never mind. There is a NASCAR channel on Tubi and Roku, but check NASCAR's channel on YouTube if you want to see Cletus's in-car. 43,000 people watching Cletus's live stream right now. Crazy. Crazy numbers. Caden Honeycutt, after getting kicked out of his ride, I think at Nice, ended up driving for Stewart Friesen after Stewart Friesen's injury, and now he's in Corey Haim's 11. This race is stacked, absolutely stacked. Cletus, you know, it's fun to have him here. It's fun to have Travis Pastrana, two really big names there. And then we have Tony Stewart, Justin Haley, you know, a lot of Cup experience. Corey LaJoie, also some a lot of Cup experience. John Hunter Nemechek, Cup experience. Up-and-comer Brendan Queen, Stewart Friesen, longtime veteran. Chris Wright, watch for him to cause a wreck. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Daniel Hemrick, you know, just so many big names. Frankie Muniz, you know, that's a celebrity name. He's been full-time racing for the last few seasons, I believe. And this will be this will be Ram's first race back in the Truck Series. So we have 4 manufacturers to look out for tonight. Good to see you again, Doodlebug. Cletus's channel is live. I didn't see it earlier. I checked. I see NASCAR's live with his in-car camera. There were 43,000 people tuned into that stream. I'll go back to Cletus's channel and see if I see it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on Cletus's channel. 100 laps, 20 lap stage 1, 20 lap stage 2, and a 60 lap stage 3. Literally what we just did on NASCAR 25. All right, we're coming to the green flag. All right, Ty Medeski lead him off. Oh, Michael McDowell. I looked over him. Yeah, Michael McDowell, Carson Oster. I mean, just tons of big names in this race. Green flag. So side by side, Michael McDowell is going to pull ahead and easily able to pull ahead. Looks like Carson Hocevar and Michael McDowell are already hooked up working together. No, I understand. I looked at Cletus' channel, though. I didn't see him live. Unless he has another channel. I just looked up his personal channel. I don't see it. I see him live on YouTube. Or not on YouTube, on NASCAR's channel. Like, when I go to Cletus' channel, it doesn't show him live. We're already 3 wide. So, Dr. Dirt, one of the members of our community, he predicted we would see a big one within the first 10 laps. And the way they're racing right now, that could happen. They're pretty spread apart. They're not pushing, but there's a lot of really sketchy blocks going on at the moment. McDowell currently leading still. Hocevar backing him up. So we have 2 teammates there, both guys with Cup experience. Hocevar just ditched his teammate. Okay, so now we have 2 Spire guys up front, first and third, or first and second. Our leaderboard hasn't updated. Stacy thinks Justin Haley will win. So that could either be Stacy or Christian. They're engaged. Good for those 2 lovebirds. Christian, right now, good to have you here, man. All right, 3 wide through much of the pack. All right, McDowell could have pulled down low. It looks like the Spire is just trying to control the race right now. There's looks like a Walmart bag flying around on track right now. Lane Riggs up 18 spots. Definitely a big mover. Let's check on our Ram guys. Probably have to scroll down to see him. Tony Stewart currently scored 21st. Travis Pastrana 25th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 27th. Coolidge Royce falling back to 29th. Frankie Muniz back there, just kind of hanging around, probably trying to stay out of the big one. So we have some very different strategies here. The Spire guys are trying to lead and dominate the race. And then we have a few guys that are just trailing the pack. Uh-oh, we have one going around. Into the inside wall. Hard hit. Cletus is out of the race. Well, that is very disappointing for all the Cletus McFarland fans that are tuned in. Very disappointing. But Cletus will be back tomorrow. That was a really hard hit. Flush on the driver's side. But the window net's down, so it looks like he's fine. Yep. Couldn't catch it. Had a car right on his tail. Yeah, that was Caden Honeycutt. So as soon as we get a replay of this, we'll get it pulled up for you guys. Let's go to NASCAR's page on Twitter. No updates there. Let's try their Truck Series page. NASCAR Craftsman Trucks. Oh, man. Let me pull this up for you guys. This is NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series last post. We're fired up too, Cletus. That's their last post. And their next post is probably going to be a replay of Cletus getting into the inside wall. Man, their last two posts were about Cletus. That's terrible. As soon as we get a replay, we'll pull that up for you guys. Has it started yet? It has, Oscar. It has. On Fox Sports 1. Oh, yeah. This is a reminder, guys. I almost forgot. If you're a member, or if you have the NASCAR mobile app, or if you have the website, you can sign up for a free account, fan rewards account, and you just go in here, you go to the live, so you pull up the leaderboard and hit check in, and that gets you free points. You can redeem it for free tickets, free merchandise, autographed merchandise, bunch of different stuff. So if you're not a member of the NASCAR mobile or the NASCAR fan rewards program, I highly recommend it. There's no reason not to. If you're already tuning into the races, you might as well get free stuff with it, you know? This last year, I think I got a $25 Walmart gift card, a few bottle openers, and a shirt. Yeah, it looked like he kind of had it saved, but he may have gotten some help from behind that just kind of finished him off. I need to see another replay. Yours already said checked in. Yeah, you may want to double check that. Just go to the website and ensure that you actually have checked in. I love getting those points, man. All right, let's search here on Twitter. All right, so we have the green flag. McDowell being pushed by Carson Hocevar to the lead. So they have not posted Cletus's wreck yet. That'll probably come in the next few minutes. Let's see if someone else has it. Oh, man. They're talking about Cletus on the broadcast. Out of the race now. That's a lot. That's well, not a live look, but that just happened. Completely flattened the left side. He's definitely out of the race. You're right, Dr. Derp. You're right. Cletus should race again. I agree. Can't even watch the race here in Canada. Allied Jam. Listen to what I'm saying. There may or may not be a website that may or may not have the name DD12 streams.com. There may or may not be a website with that name, but if there was one, you might be able to watch the NASCAR race there. Wink, wink. See what I'm saying? So Cletus will be back tomorrow. He has another shot at this. So hopefully he has a better run tomorrow. It's just a shame. He was really excited for this race specifically. In the Truck Series at night, it's a much bigger event than the ARCA race. Yeah, super disappointing for Cletus there. So Fox posted a video of the accident, or the aftermath. Interesting. So Cletus going through the infield. The grounds crew are not going to be happy. They're going to have to replace that before the 500. All right, here we go. Fox NASCAR's Twitter account posting a replay. Just gets loose, overcorrects, and then maybe gets some help from behind. And there's just no way to save it here. We've seen this wreck dozens of times. Identical. So yeah, his night's definitely over. It's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, he's okay. He dropped the window net. That was a really hard hit to the driver's side door, though. DD12 didn't work. Let me look it up. Maybe they got taken down. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looks like... Oh, no. No. Yeah, it works. It works. You just have to go to the menu and then go down to the schedule and then click on the race. DD12streams.com. That website may or may not exist, but if it did, I think you can find the NASCAR race on there if you need somewhere to watch. NASCAR just makes it so expensive to follow the sport these days. You have to have a great cable package and a streaming service. It's a lot. That's all right, cable guy. That's all right. Good to hear from you. Did I hear the latest ARCA news? I don't think so. Did something big happen? I don't know why people are being so loud outside today. All right, restarting. The two Spire guys up front. Tanner Gray all over the back of Carson Osavar, shoving him out to the lead. So Hocevar has control of the race now. Sliding back up inside, or to the outside. He has a really big advantage. They're going to get a huge run on him. McDowell to the lead temporarily. That's crazy. It disappoints me when guys think they're in and then their time gets disqualified. You know, Anthony Alfredo happened to him last night. So Anthony Alfredo will be missing the Cup race on Sunday. BJ McLeod is taking a spot. So it's a shame that happened the way it did. Yeah, McDowell and Hocevar, you know, Cup teammates. I would hope they would work together well. They're getting in some good teamwork practice for Sunday. Let's take a look through the field. So Cletus off right now. Travis Pastrana down here in 32nd. Minnie Tyrell, I think it's his first truck race, 33rd. Frankie Muniz running 29th currently. Lane Riggs, very good car in this series. 25th currently. Tony Stewart 23rd. Justin Haley 22nd. So you have two of our Rams back here. Yeah, most of the Rams are further back right now. I just don't know if they have too much speed. Brendan Queen up here though in 11th. Good showing for him. ARCA needs to have single car qualifying. Single car qualifying is the best way to do it. I don't know why we ever left that format. I don't know. I always enjoyed going to the track for qualifying. You know, watching guys make their fastest lap possible. That was fun. Added to the race weekend. Woo! So it looks like Tony's just going to try to make it to the third stage before he makes a huge move. He's running in the very back of the main pack. 25th currently. I'm really going to try to keep an eye on Tony tonight. Or it looks like he's about to crash. Oh, we saw how easy it is to go around. Oh my goodness, it looks so sketchy. These guys are all over the track. Stage 1 isn't even over and we're about to wreck half the field. Brendan Queen up to 7th. Very impressive. It sounds like someone's doing commercial demolition right outside my window. I don't know why it's so loud tonight. All right, 5 to go. Business usually picks up coming to the end of the stage. showing off Joey in the old Gen 6 package. The Gen 6 plate package was so good. Risky Biz, welcome. Glad to have you as a member on the channel. We're going to be here all season. We're going to cover as many races as we can. ARCA, Trucks, O'Reilly Series, and the Cup Series. So I'm looking forward to it. Glad to have you. Don't think we've missed a green flag lap yet. I think the Cletus caution, we'll call it that, the first caution, kind of saved them from going to commercial. We're probably going to see like 3 commercials under this stage caution. This may be the best Daytona truck field ever. You might be right. You might be right. These trucks are just dancing around, not handling too well. I mean, yeah, that is kind of crazy how much they've gone 3 wide. All it takes is one bad push, though. But remember, we're in not quite full season points, but we have the chase this year. So points matter a lot more than wins. Even though wins do, you know, give you points. But the stage points are going to be huge this season to decide who makes it into the postseason. Yeah, they look very loose. Oh, my goodness. Further back, we almost had an accident. Tyler Ankrum almost went around. Oh my goodness. All right, Carson Hocevar looking pretty good here, but they're 3 wide behind him. His help just disappeared. Michael McDowell coming up to help. We have 2 teammates together, but they have more help on the outside. McDowell has stayed close. Good teamwork here. This is grade A teammate. I totally agree, Black Swan. Oh. McDowell lost contact. Hocevar. I think Hocevar got it. They're saying Tanner Gray. Did they? I thought Hocevar crossed the line first. That had to have been close. That was a wild stage 1. Absolutely insane. Black Swan, I completely agree. I think Cletus, you know, he got loose, but he saved it initially. And then got loose a second time. And then I believe the 11 gave him some help to spin him around. I thought Hocevar won stage 1, but they're saying Tanner Gray did. So I want to see a replay. Now they're doing a Greg Biffle tribute right now. Good time to do that. $55 years old. That's older than Dale Sr. Dale only made it to 49. It doesn't matter if you're on or off track, you know. Any day can be your last. Such a depressing note to put the stream on, but yeah. Lane Riggs on the move. Lane Riggs has been moving up the whole race, seems like. I think Lane Riggs has a really good chance to win the championship this year. I think he'll probably be one of the top, definitely in the top 5, but maybe even the top 3 drivers. Dale had 7 championships, I'll tell you that. I think 86 cup wins. All right, under commercial here. Let's look through our field. Carson Hocevar. They have him scored in the lead now. So I don't know if they're just running around under caution like this. But they're showing Hocevar in the lead. I said Hocevar won the stage 1, but they called Tanner Gray. I don't think that's accurate, but it didn't look like he crossed the line first. Let's see what they say on Fox NASCAR's page. No, I don't have anything there yet. We do have a view of Cletus's truck going behind the wall on the wrecker. Not a great day for Cletus, but he will be back tomorrow. I just have to remind everybody. So Cletus is not done just yet. Let's go over here. No, we don't have anything. Just another replay of his hit. That was a really hard hit against the inside wall. Almost head on. He's been evaluated and released from the infield care center. That's good to hear. Double A says Hocevar definitely won the stage. Fox is just foxing. I thought so. I called it out, but then the leaderboard on here and on Fox's side said Tanner Gray won it. So I was really confused. It's like Hocevar took the lead back right before they crossed the finish line. So that was a little odd. See how they're running currently. They're saying it now, yeah. Carson Hocevar, stage 1 winner. I thought so. Fox just being stupid. What's new? Breaking Muniz 33rd, running in the 33 car or the 33 truck. That's on brand. The Rams are kind of staying out of the way right now. For the most part, we have 4 Rams back here. And then we have Brendan Queen doing his own thing. They're interviewing Cletus right now. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for the another super chat. That's a very, very kind comment. Daytona is such a cool track to go to be in the infield, because this overhead shot they have right now, they're showing the infield portion of the Daytona road course, and the camping spots are right up against the infield track, so you're able to walk the track and actually see the rubber still on the track from the Rolex. So it's It's really cool. All right, most guys are coming down pit road this time, but a few guys, I'd say about a third of the field is staying out. They may just come in this next lap. All right, looks like Hocevar got out first, Tanner Gray second, McDowell third, Caden Honeycutt fourth. So the Honeycutt benefiting quite a bit here from the pit cycle. We'll see once the pit stops shake out who is in the lead. But as of the cars that pitted, Hocevar will be leading that group. Yeah, Cletus is very artistic with it. Dye, Kitzmiller, and Giro. Yeah, I mean, getting repetition in definitely helps. ARCA is just such a difficult series because some of the cars are really underpowered compared to the Gibbs prepared cars, the Venturini cars. We have a replay of that, of them coming across the line. Very close. But Hocevar snuck ahead at the last second. My dog almost knocked my light over. I have like a lighting ring over here. Yeah, Jason's met quite a few big names. Go back around, see them coming to the line. So McDowell lost contact there with Hocevar, but so did Tanner Gray. He lost contact. So Hocevar was able to sneak back out ahead. Insanely close stage one finish. That is a very notable photo finish for Daytona. That one hurts me so much. Mark almost had it. But man, what a good race that was. Jeff Wooden's an awesome person to meet. Tons of history in the sport. His whole family is a ton of history in the sport. So that'd be a cool guy to talk to. So they have Dana White, the president of the UFC, up here. President and owner of the UFC. On television. But both of you and Stacy are the same person now. Now that you're engaged, we need a new name. We'll refer to both of you as one name. Yeah, imagine a UFC sponsored NASCAR. That would be crazy. So leading them off, John Hunter Nemechek in the lead. Wow, huge move up the middle. Carson Hocevar, Michael McDowell making moves. Woo! The field almost stacked up there. That was sketchy. Station. That's beautiful. You cooked there. I like the sound of that. Have a UFC match in the tri-oval or the quad-oval at Las Vegas before the race or after the race, and then just have the event sponsored by UFC. That'd be really cool. Tony's taking a pretty big risk there, riding around in the third lane. It's stable up there, more stable. You have to turn, less wheel input. But if a wreck happens, the cars are usually going to wash up the track, so kind of, I mean, there's not really a safe place to run at Daytona, but there are safer places than others. John Hunter Nemechek just free falling through the field. He had the lead. Now he doesn't. That is interesting. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, Hocevar is going to be, making some crazy moves here. Tony Stewart's in car on YouTube now. Good call out. Good call out. That's cool. Follow Tony around here. Taylor Gray looking pretty strong there on the inside. So the first half of that stage was basically dedicated to the Dana White interview. He pops up everywhere. My dog loves French fries. Shouldn't give him too many. I'm still upset about last year's Daytona Truck Race with Parker Kligerman winning and then getting DQ'd. But I'm also sad that Parker's not in that truck because he's done such a good job for them. But, you know, that's how it goes, I guess. Let's see if we have any other updates on Twitter. Nothing on the Craftsman Trucks page. Yeah, no real updates on the Twitter side of things. Six 4. You guys are massive. You guys are massive. 6'4", size 17, size 15. That's crazy. All right, back from commercial break. They're 3 wide further back, but the field is mostly double file. And then we have several guys trailing the main pack, just being patient. Oh. Christian Eckes. Oh! Are you serious? Are you serious? Tony Stewart involved. His day may not be over, but his truck is not going to be good out front. He had been hanging in the back the whole race just to get involved like that. Steering's messed up. He's done for now. So I brought this up earlier. I said the third lane, the high lane was dangerous. Are you kidding me? Jake Garcia taking out Tony Stewart there. Just ran out of talent. Yeah, they currently have Chandler Smith scored in the lead. Tony in the wrong place. I said you don't need to be in that high side. You don't need to be in the third lane. And he paid the price for being in the third lane. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's really disappointing to me to see Tony out because, yeah, I was really pulling for him. And Cletus, you know, such a big advocate for the sport, brought in a lot of fans. So it's actually to see him out of the race as well. Really, the two fan favorites, both taken out. America's beautiful. That's right. That is right. Corey Haim's girlfriend, Taylor Reimers, you were driving a Chevy this year. Honestly, if I'm Corey Haim, if my phone rings, I'm taking the call. Toyota's holding him back. After the record-breaking year that he had, he didn't get an Xfinity ride or Cup ride, even though he's shown he has tons of talent. Ridiculous. Not even a truck ride. Yeah, Tony's out of the race. They might be able to get him back out on track, but he may lose some laps though. No, we do have a replay. The Fox NASCAR channel posting this replay. Let's go back. So that's Tony up there on the high side. So if you pay attention, Jake Garcia just loses it. Does the exact same thing Cletus did, except Cletus had the common sense to not go back across the track. You know, he only took out himself. Jake Garcia absolutely clobbered Tony Stewart. Rumor has it Coram might race the Winchester 400 this year. That'd be pretty cool. Super disappointing end to Tony's night. Let's see if the Craftsman page posted anything. Yeah. Different angle there. And that did end stage 2. So I'll head back to the leaderboard and take a look at it. If I can find my mouse. So they still have Chandler Smith scored first, Lane Riggs second. So they have some teammates towards the front of the field again. McDowell and Hocevar have gotten separated. Whew, okay, they just showed it on the broadcast. Hocevar's truck shut off, so probably electrical issues. So he's back in 26th now. Hocevar said he was going to win the stage. That would have been crazy if Hocevar had swept stage 1 and 2. So now Hocevar, without his teammates' help, has to work his way back up into that lead group. I bet Tony was cursing a storm up on his radio. Yeah, maybe when it happened, but they went in car to him and they were kind of asking him, like, what's the situation? And it was like steering's 4 to 6 inches off. We're gonna have, you know, like a ton of work. He said something along those lines. So let me open Discord real quick. So those of you that have Discord, if you add the NASCAR server, I think they have in-car radio through the app. Go to NASCAR. Yeah, a lot of people in there talking right now. Chat's moving really fast. Oh, no, we only have cup feeds. Do we have MRN? No MRN either. So on Sunday, you'll be able to hear that. Not today. I'd be back in a bit. That's all right. Yeah, hopefully they get that figured out. I mean, it seems like he's making the right moves and he was able to take some really big runs. That's disappointing to see a very competitive guy have those issues, but that could be the thing that saves him. You think Hamlin's going to retire after this year? He could. It depends on how the year goes. If it's a really bad year, he doesn't win, maybe struggles to get a win, then possibly. Yeah, they only have certain ones, and they were just cup drivers. I didn't see any for the Truck Series. But Denny said he had 5 years left, which is about how many Kyle Busch said he has left. So if things go well, I think he keeps going. But if it's a really bad year, maybe he does call it. Yeah, I'm sad I didn't use it at all last year. On the NASCAR mobile app, you can, if you have the premium subscription, you can dial into anyone's radio on demand. And then on, what, HBO Max, they have the Cup Series in cars with the radio. That's really cool, but I'm usually here doing this, so I don't get a chance to look at that. Let's see if we have anything else going on Twitter since we're under commercial break again. No, not really. Man, that sucks. I'm so disappointed. Tony and Cletus are both out of the race. The two biggest draws for this race, and they're already out. You can't script it. You can't script it. I've heard rumors that there's bad blood, though, between Ty Gibbs and Corey Haim, so unless they squash that beef, I don't know. I think that's a good home for him, but if Hamlin didn't retire after this last year, after the offseason he had, and how the season ended, unless it's a really bad year, I don't see him leaving. But you could be right. All right, we have pit stops. Looks like most of the field came down. Tanner Gray with a 4-tire stop. They were a little slow on the right front, it looked like. Well, same with Chandler Smith. 17-2 for Taylor Gray. Ty Majeska with a 16-9. Chandler Smith, extremely slow stop. Extremely slow. Interesting. Nick Lights, 2-tire call. Corey LaJoie taking no tires. So we have very mixed strategies here. McDowell. I forget who it was. I didn't get to see. Someone gained 22 spots on pit road, so I want to see who that is. Did they just drive down pit road and keep going? Miss their box? So this field's going to be really shaken up after that caution. The actual Stacy's here too. So now we have Station. Station has been reunited. I love it. It's the night before Valentine's Day, and you guys are here watching some NASCAR. Hey, we're going to be here tomorrow too for the ARCA race and for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. I hate saying that. It's almost as bad as the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Like, just a mouthful. We're doing pretty well, Doodlebug. Hope you're doing well. Been a good stream so far. The race has been really exciting, but the two guys I was pulling for have both crashed, so I'm gonna stop pulling for people. I'm just gonna watch passively. I'm interested to see how long it takes Corey LaJoie to stack up the field. Not that he's a bad driver, it's just sometimes he makes bad moves. So, I mean, I could totally see him stacking the field up. Pastrana having a good run? See where Travis is. He has been in the back of the pack. Yeah, 27. Keeping it clean. Keeping it clean so far. Like to see that. I wish Tony had done a little bit more of that. You know, running back towards the tail end of the field. Jake Garcia taking out Tony Stewart, but he's still out on track. Now only one lap down. all weekend. That's good stuff. James said, Tony never said much. Couldn't win, so went through a dark parking lot to his hauler. Yeah, I mean, that's just got to be extremely frustrating. I wouldn't blame him. You come out of, you know, your NASCAR retirement to run this race, and you get junked by some guy who just ran out of talent, you know? Extremely disappointing. I hope Tony will come back, though, and race a few more races. Maybe in the Truck Series, but I would love to see him racing for Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity Series. Maybe at a track like a Bristol. Bristol's a really good track for guys to come back to. But Tony's main focus is the NHRA, so I don't know how much more we're going to see of him in Cup this year. Not Cup, in NASCAR in general. My bad. Dale said, yeah, Tony's out. Yeah, disappointing. Pastrana, let's see if he's still down here. Currently scored 27th. Frankie Muniz just keeping it clean. Chris Wright, I'm waiting for him to stack up the field. He could do it on pit road like he did, I think, last year. Yeah, Pastrana's currently on track. Nothing bad has happened yet. Michael McDowell. Pit road penalty. This is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So he was up front. Now he's falling, you know, all the way back. But he may be able to hook up with Hocevar quicker, because they're not going to be as stacked up further back. Yeah, if you guys ever want me to scroll down and look at the bottom of the leaderboard, let me know. You know, we added the numbers in since yesterday. You know, it's taken us 6 months to get the numbers working and to get the leaderboard how I like it. And you know what? I just noticed something. I don't think the flag indicator, the race status, is working. So I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and fix that. It's supposed to show, you know, green flag, yellow flag, all that stuff. So we'll get that fixed up maybe before tomorrow's ARCA race. I don't know if we'll have the numbers for the ARCA race, so we may just use the Cup numbers if we don't get them. All right, we're back. Green flag racing. Nick Lights lead him off. Ty Majeski on the inside. It's taking the lead. They're really squirrely. There's 55 laps to go, and we're making some crazy pushes. Carson Hocevar running in that middle groove, jumping up to the third line. He will get a bunch of help. He has two of the Rams behind him. So Hocevar working with Dodge right now. Well, not Dodge technically, but I imagine if Nicky Hayden was alive, you feel like he'd try a NASCAR race. I love seeing guys come out and, you know, throw their hat into the ring. I think Dario Franchitti's running the, what is it, the Long Beach race? I can't remember where it is. The truck race. Oh my god, we're 4 wide, 3 wide. Oh my goodness. Nick Lights just got shuffled out big time. Made a little contact there. That was sketchy. Look at that. Stenhouse. Mr. Where did he come from? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky Spinhouse. Let's see how long it takes Ricky Stenhouse and Corey to get together. Corey has it wound up in that third groove. So we have some guys running against the outside wall, and we have some guys running against the yellow line. Nice to see Best Buy back on a truck. Outside line seems to be a little better organized right now. Hocevar's pushing pretty hard. He's right behind John Hunter Nemechek. They're not making up a ton of ground, though. Dead even with Tyler Ankrum currently. All right, they're going to move up a couple positions here. It's a gain of 2 spots. Up 3 spots in 1 straightaway. Huge push there by Carson Hocevar, but now he's falling back. All right, coming back with another push here, maybe. Looks like he's going to wait till they exit the tri-oval. All right, Brendan Queen just got sit in the sucker hole. Middle 3 wide. All right, now he's clear to the outside. Did you Ty Dillon to run the 25 truck next weekend at Atlanta? I didn't. Really? Yeah, I guess he's a colleague guy, so that makes sense. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, not as big of a name as Tony Stewart, but you know, that's neat. Tony Stewart interviewed right now. So Tony said he was dealing with a loose truck. But that's not why he got, you know, wrecked. That's Jake Garcia's fault. You're back. What'd you miss? Nothing too crazy. McDowell got sent to the rear for a penalty on pit road, but now he's making his way back up slowly. Even though he just got shuffled out into the third line. Hocevar's pushing really hard. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has been leading. He's lost the lead now. But yeah, Hocevar got shuffled back with that power failure he had. Now he's already back towards the front. What happened to Tony? I'll show you real quick. So the 98 of Jake Garcia got loose, came up the track and clobbered Tony. That's not our best angle. Let's go over here. This is a better replay angle. So you'll see the 98 just get loose, clobbers Tony there. So Tony Stewart and Cletus both out of the race already. You know, disappointing, but that is super speedway racing. That's what happens. Yeah, I was pulling for Stewart. That would have been really cool for him to at least run well, but he never got a chance. All right, back to commercial. Let's run down our leaderboard again. Just see where some guys are. Jake Garcia, currently the last car running. 4 laps off the pace. 3 laps off the pace, Daniel Hemrick. Where's Jake Garcia? Oh, yeah, Jake Garcia. Okay. And then Tony and Cletus off. Frankie still running back there in the low 30s. Stewart Friesen in his first race back since like the middle of last year, running 30th currently, keeping it clean. Minnie Tyrell, Jason Kitzmiller, both keeping it clean towards the rear. Travis Pastrana, 25th. They have Corey LaJoy, Caden Honeycutt, two possibly, competitive trucks back there. Gio Ruggiero, Taylor Gray, Chandler Smith, Brennan Vinger running, kind of mid-pack. And then McDowell has made his way all the way back from the rear of the field, all the way back up to 12. And Carson Hocevar currently scored as our leader. Had a power failure, dropped back to 26th position, and now he's already retaking the lead. So Hocevar is a really strong truck. If John Hunter Nemechek finished top 10, you'll fall off your bed. Good to see you, Ghost Dino. Yeah, that's super unfortunate, Michael. I hope that's not Tony's last race this season. I hope he comes back for more truck races and maybe some Xfinity races. I mean, you can't just come back for, 25 laps. You got to do a full race. Maybe like something like the Xfinity race in Miami. That would be a great one to run. He knows his way around Miami pretty well. All right, so the stage 1 was 20 laps. Stage 2 was 20 laps. We're closing in on our next 20-lap segment. So this may be the longest run of the evening if we stay green. Maybe a conflict for the manufacturers for Kaulig. They have Chevy and Cup and Dodge and trucks. Not necessarily, because they're not receiving a bunch of manufacturer support from Chevy this year. They're still running Chevy, but Ram is technically a separate brand from Dodge. Dodge isn't even participating in Cup yet, so they don't really have any choice. They kind of have to do it this way. And I think there may have been some teams back in the day when Toyota was only in the Truck Series that had that were different manufacturers from their Cup counterparts. It would be a little different if they were in like a Chevy in the Cup Series and then racing Ford in the Truck Series. That'd be a little different, because those are competing brands, but Dodge currently isn't competing in Cup. Tony at Bristol would be like Dale Sr. at Bristol. That's what I want to see, Luke. I mentioned that a little earlier. I would love to see him come back. And oh my goodness, Hocevar. Really loose, going around. He is going to keep it clean. We're going to have a caution. There we go. There's the caution flag. Carson Hocevar from the lead. Yeah, I would love to see Tony at Bristol. So Dale Jr. made one of his return visits in Xfinity at Bristol and ran really well and had a shot to win the race. Yeah, it's a super weird situation, Jason. I'm not exactly sure how all that works out. Looks like he cut down a left rear. So he has some damage there on the fender. That's going to affect the aero. You did, Luke. You did. Golly. The big one, yeah. I think we got saved a bit there. I'm disappointed. I'm a little disappointed that we had a caution. I was looking forward to a longer green flag run. I wanted to see green flag stops, but we're not going to get that on this run. I wouldn't be surprised to see the majority of guys pit, because that's kind of like we just ran another stage. Stage 1 was 20 laps. Stage 2 was 20 laps. And we just ran 18. But I think they may be able to make it on one more stop. So maybe you see some guys stay out. I don't know. With how many cautions there have been, I would think I would pit here. If John Hunter Niemann... Oh, let's see what Jason said. He met Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Indianapolis World of Wheels show in 2019. That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever met Dale Jr. I would remember that if I did. I've met a lot of the Cup guys just at, like, autograph events or in the little garage access you get at Daytona and Talladega. And Corey LaJoy, I met him under the stands at Bristol after the truck race. Chase Elliott's golf cart almost ran over me once. That was awesome. You got to meet him once? That was awesome. That's awesome, Ghost. Michael says we may not see green flag pit stops. Yeah. Luke has Kyle Busch for Cup champion? That's a super bold pick. Like, RCR would have to improve a ton for that to happen. You met Carl Edwards? That's the biggest guy you've met? Like, biggest in name, not like size, okay? I was like, is he like jacked or something? Is he 7 foot tall? Yeah, I don't think I met Carl either. Yeah. He quit the sport about the same time that I started getting garage access, you know, buying it myself. And then long time ago, like 20 years ago, I met the whole ARCA roster back in the day. So Bobby Gerhardt, Frank Kimmel, Dale Jarrett's son. That's awesome, Luke. I would like to go out to more local drag strips, but a few of them are shut down. So we only have a couple left, and they're not the best operated. But drag racing is awesome. I love seeing guys just take their daily drivers to the drag course. That's awesome. The drag strip, and try to turn their best lap. Kyle Busch says he met Brandon Jones at Bristol back in spring. That's awesome. Ghost Diner says he met Kyle Larson in 13 at the Daytona Nationwide race. My dad, twice, has taken pictures of Kyle Larson, point blank. And, like, the first time, Kyle went up to give him an autograph. And instead of getting an autograph, my dad just pulled out his phone and took a picture. So Kyle Larson just looks so confused in the photo. It's an iconic photo. You got to see Kenny Montgomery race at B-Mod in Springfield. Missouri has a really good racing scene. That's for sure. I think Kenny Wallace, you know, he's out there a lot. I think he lives out there. If we have a post race, we call on Discord. Yeah, I don't think we'll have one today. We may talk a little bit, but I don't think we're gonna have a full post race show. So what they're talking about is normally for our cup races, we'll have a post race show after the live broadcast where you guys can call in. But I don't think we're gonna do one for tonight's race, even though it has been crazy. We have like 5 more streams this weekend, so at least 5 more streams. So I'm gonna spend a little time not sitting at my computer. I sit at a computer at work, I sit at a computer here. It's a bit too much. I need to like go for a run or something. Got a bunch of dirt tracks. That's right, Luke. I love watching Kenny Wallace's YouTube. Just watching him rant about stuff, seeing what he's up to, racing at some local dirt tracks. Jason, oh, that's awesome. I would love to go to Eldora. Is post-race show for Cup only? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If we just have more time for Xfinity and trucks later in the season, we may do some. Especially if it's a crazy race with like really big storylines happening. But especially if we have like weekends where it's just 2 races, just like O'Reilly and Cup, then we will probably do a post race for that race. Imagine we see NASCAR add 850 horsepower. I would love to see it, but I think they need to get rid of this car completely. The Gen 7 car. It's been a failure from a financial standpoint and from a racing standpoint. It's pretty good on the 1.5s, but that's the only thing it does well. The road course races are less entertaining. The plate races are less entertaining. The short tracks are less entertaining. They need a new car entirely. One that's less draggy than this one. That's a big part of the reason why the plate races or the super speedway races are not as good in Cup, is they're too draggy, so they can't get big runs. You know, you don't see a lot of slingshot moves like you used to back in the day. They need to bring handling back into the equation, shrink the tire, and, you know, let handling become a factor. I think that's part of the reason why the Atlanta Motor Speedway, or Echo Park as they call it now, races so well. Because it's such a tight track, handling eventually becomes a factor there. So they're still drafting, they're still pushing, but on a long run, the cars do get more strung out. It's awesome. 35 or 40 bucks for garage passes. That's really awesome, Jason. That's a great deal. It'd be fun to go to my local short track and do a live stream there. Might do that at some point this year. Bring back the 6 or the 4. So the original Gen 5, the original car of tomorrow, was supposed to just be a slightly beefier Gen 4. Looked very similar in the prototype stage. And it just had the added foam in the doors and stuff. That would be great. I don't know how the manufacturers would like it. I think they prefer having unique body panels like they do currently. Do I ever watch figure 8 racing? Yes, I do. I love figure 8 racing. Especially when they do it with trailers. So there's like pure figure 8 racing where they do it like modifieds or late models, but they also have, you know, the trailer races. They have the school bus figure 8 racing. Super entertaining. All right. That was a super weird restart. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're making some big pushes on this restart. Very weird restart. I wasn't listening, so I don't know why they did that. There's no way everyone just chose the inside line. There's no way. You come to Indianapolis Speedrome for the 3-hour endurance. I've watched that one on YouTube, but yeah, I would love to. My wife and I really enjoyed our visit to Indianapolis last year. I've been there a few times. Sometimes I go up there for work, so I never know. Like, they may just be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Indianapolis next week." So, but those are usually day trips. We leave at like 4 in the morning, get up there by like 10, and have a meeting for like 2 hours, maybe take lunch, 2 more hours, and then drive back. So it's real fast. But I'm sad the Circle Center Mall closed down there in downtown Indy. That was a really nice mall back in the day. Yeah, if I get up to Indy again, it'll either be for, like this year, it'll be either for the Indy 500, maybe the Brickyard, or third possibility if I go for a Colts game. Racing with Hunter G says, good evening from Kannapolis, North Carolina. You're right there in the thick of it, man. He's tuning in from the headquarters of American Racing, North Carolina. I have family out in North Carolina, and they love it out there. So it seems like a nice place to be. I know a lot of people are moving to North Carolina currently. Dale County. And my dad went out to visit my family out there a couple years ago, and he went and visited a lot of the shops, and I think he may have visited the memorial there in Kannapolis. And he got to meet Richard Petty. That was really cool. Got his autograph. I don't know if you guys could see that. Richard Petty diecast, autographed. And then, you know, he got his own. But pretty neat to meet the king of NASCAR. Thank you so much, Jason. You guys are what make it interesting. If I was just sitting here screaming to myself, it wouldn't be as fun. Really single filed out for the first about 8 cars. There were 3 wide further back. I wonder how much drag this flap is introducing on Justin Haley's truck. Will the jury already being aggressive, trying to crash the field? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. You know, considering Parker won the race in that same truck last year, I know Parker has to have that on his mind. Like, I could possibly win this. So he's definitely going to make an effort to do that. Let's look back through the field. Hocevar currently scored 33rd, 1 lap down. So next caution, he should get his lap back. Frankie Muniz running 30th. Jason Kitzmiller 27th. Pastrana and Stenhouse 26th, 25th. Michael McDowell 18th currently. And Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt, both good cars. 16th, 15th. So a little look through the field. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, Station. I don't know which one of you it is. Logano thinks they're saving gas. I mean, the trucks are just, in general, a bit slower. So, like, they're going, you know, pretty hard right now. They're just not slamming into each other like they have to in the Cup Series. Not bad, though. 192 in the draft there for Chandler Smith in 20th. So they're moving pretty good. Oh, we have a truck up the track. That's Nick Lights, right? Or no, that's Grant Infinger. Grant Infinger, right rear down. He's going to try to get down below the yellow line. Maybe. He's still riding around in the bottom groove. Close call there. So Grant Enfinger probably going to lose at least a lap here. At least a lap. Probably 2. Oh, that's for sure, Hunter. That's for sure. Almost 25 years now. That was a big day. Skit's just asking why. Guess Frankie Muniz is being Malcolm in the middle. I love when he goes middle 3 wide because it gives us the opportunity to make that joke. Very hard shoves right now. We still have 29 to go. Almost a third of this race. A little under a third. And we are just shoving hard. Hocevar had pulled up a bit. He just fell back. What happened to Hocevar there? Carson was coming back up through the field and he just... Maybe he... Okay. I think I see what he's doing. I think Carson Hocevar expects a wreck to happen. So Hocevar might be playing strategy here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, they're touching. We have a side-by-side commercial here, so... They almost stacked it up. Interesting, we had 2 different tire failures. Yeah, that's a trend that you need to look out for. You were a sophomore and Dale Earnhardt died in high school. So 97 off the pace. Jason Kitzmiller off the pace down the track. Probably another tire failure. What's going on here? This is, you know, one of the longer runs of the night. Later in the race, maybe some debris on the track. That's our 3rd tire failure. Oh my... Oh, no. Oh, no. Lane Riggs into the outside wall. Right front tire failure. From the contact, I guess. He's not going to make it down pit road. That's a 4th tire failure. And it's a Ford this time. Where's Tony at? Justin Camplin outside. Tony is 2nd to last. So we'll go ahead and show you what happened, Justin. So this is Tony on the high side. Jake Garcia in the middle. Coming off before, Jake Garcia gets loose up the wall and clobbered Tony. So out of the race. Yeah, disappointing, but that's just Daytona racing. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have the replay up. I'm so sorry. All right, we'll check it out now. So Jake Garcia in the middle, Tony Stewart up high. Tony just gets pile driven into the wall. Ended his night. Yeah. Yeah. I finally caught on AA. And then, you know, it's just a different angle. So Lane Riggs, yeah, cut down a left front. You could see it going down. And it did. It sure did. Poor thing went into the wall. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. This has been a up and down race. Yep. It looks like he got into the quarter panel of Tyler Ankrum, maybe? Yeah, Tyler Ankrum. Cut down his right front. Or left front, my bad. They had a camera on it when it happened. And you could see it took the Goodyear lettering off the side of the tire. So, championship implications. For sure. Yeah, Lane's is more explainable. It could just be I don't know, maybe confirmation bias. There are way more Chevys in the field than any other manufacturer. Not as much as last year, because now we have 5 Rams running around out here. Technically 4 now. Burning a photo of Jake Garcia tomorrow? Yes. That's reasonable. Let me scroll the leaderboard back up for you guys. Stenhouse and Corey LaJoy, 15th and 16th. Keep an eye on this. That's the eye of the hurricane. Ricky and Corey. How many laps can they run next to each other before stacking the field up? Ty Majeski in the 88. It's hard to miss him. Very bright paint scheme. I'm glad Ty Majeski found a good ride there. You know, taking over from Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton isn't done. He's still going to come back on a part-time basis. So I'm excited to see, you know, Matt make a few starts this year. Can we hold a moment of silence for Jake? It's a shame Jake Garcia is still in the race, because it would have been funny to see Tony and Jake have a discussion in the infield. Race 100 says he can't do the NASCAR anymore after Dale passed. It wasn't the same. Kept watching Junior, but now it's definitely not the same. Yeah. Oh. Carson Hocevar tire down again. Probably another left rear failure. Caution is out. Caution Hocevar bringing out another caution. That's crazy. Another cut tire. And it doesn't look like, you know, the body panels are that out of shape. So this is really, really odd. So many tire failures in just a few laps. He's had a bad night, but he has such a good truck. This is wild. I think that's natural, Hunter. I think that's pretty natural. When you watch a sport, when you first get into it, coming up as a kid, you get familiar with certain teams, certain paint schemes, certain drivers. And once those all start to change, once those drivers, your favorite drivers, start to retire, it definitely removes some interest in the sport, because you're no longer tuning in each Sunday, each Saturday, and just hoping, you know, that my guy's going to pull it out today. I'm kind of in the same place, but I mean, I still enjoy watching NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. I love racing. But once Gordon left, you know, I was like, okay, that's disappointing. Maybe I'll pull for Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards left. Okay, you know, Dale Jr.'s still here. No, Dale Jr. also left. So a lot of our veterans are gone. That's why I'm really hoping Sunday that Kyle Busch or Brad Keselowski can bring home the 500 win. Jordan says, cue the big one, all hell Ricky Wreckhouse. I call him Ricky Spinhouse. I like that one. Yeah, Ricky and Corey are right next to each other. So I have to wonder if maybe it's the setup they're running on that car that's causing these tire failures. Maybe they went too aggressive. So the caution status in the upper right-hand side, we're going to try to get that working for tomorrow. It worked on our last build. This one, it for whatever reason, decided not to work. So I have to go back and look at that. All right, a lot of our leaders are staying out. A lot of them. Just the guys in the back of the pack are coming in. With how the tires have been failing, I would definitely come in. Throw some fresh tires on, take a look at them, and see if there's any damage. Why is Ricky even in a truck? That's a good question. I guess he just really wanted to. You went with Chase after Matt Kenseth retired? Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to pick a new guy after your favorite retires. I just have a bunch of guys I like. Now, I like the Hendrick guys. Hocevar. Zilich is going to be fun to watch. I think Bella's a nice enough guy. You know, there's several guys that I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of like these guys. Who's Minnie? Minnie Tyrell. He's the guy who won the Ram race for the seat. Where's Minnie running currently? 21st. So rookie year. And he's running for Ram. So yeah, if you watched any of the Ram race for the seat, he's the guy who ended up winning that. I was hoping Landon Huffman would do it. And he races in the Cars Tour. Short track driver. It would have been fun to see him in the Truck Series. You think car setup's causing failure? I could definitely see that. These teams get really aggressive sometimes in the tire pressure, and you just end up damaging the tire. And 2 in a row on the same truck, so I mean, that's tough. Truex after Kenseth, and now Hamlin and Berry after Truex retired, running out of drivers. Yeah, I mean, Hamlin's no spring chicken, and Berry, even though he's only a few years into his NASCAR career, he is not very young. He wanted a break from his wife and kid. That's very possible, Jason. It's very possible. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's definitely happened, Hunter. You go back and watch one of like Darrell Waltrip's interviews. Go back and watch how personal some of Dale Sr.'s interviews felt, especially in his later years. How close we felt with the drivers, like Neil Bonnet, when he would be in the booth, when he would be an in-race reporter. We had a lot of big personalities, really big personalities. And every driver kind of had their own unique, things about them. Nowadays, it's kind of like we're 3D printing these guys, Artificial. It's the Hendrickization of NASCAR. Everyone's trying to be as corporate friendly as they can to bring in sponsorship. So, yeah, it's just a side effect of how how the sport's decline has affected how open and free people can be. That's completely fine, Hunter. There's several people that are here in our chats, pretty frequently, and their favorite driver is Derek Cope. So, we definitely have a lot of older fans here. And to be fair, I mean, the best years of NASCAR were some of those earlier years. So, I still go back and watch old races. I think if Noah could become competitive, he could be the next big personality. Noah's a good pick. Hocevar's a good pick. That's like two good ones. Blaney, if he would show his personality more, he could be really big. He has the look. The mustache is awesome. But I think he could connect really well with some young people. But very much Hocevar. And if Zilich turns out to win a bunch of races, he could be the next Jeff Gordon. Ben Gisbergen, he's been killing it at these road courses. I don't know how these other teams are going to catch up to him. Yeah, I have a few Earnhardt hats. Maybe I'll throw one on Sunday. I was going to wear my Bowman 500 hat, but now that you mention it, maybe I'll wear one of my Dale hats and Dale shirt or something for Sunday's broadcast. Think anyone will be a 7-time again? Not with this car. We have to go back to a real race car. Pastrana just called Carson Hocevar. That was great. Yeah, we're going to do it for Dale on Sunday. So, yeah, almost 25 years. So the night before that happened, I received a Dale Senior diecast. I either have it up on my shelf, I have several over here, or I may have it at work. But anyway, the next day, he ended up passing away. So that was a big day. My dad did the smart thing, and he took the Dale diecast back. He said, I'll hold on to this. You can have it back when you're older. That way I wouldn't beat up on it. And that was a great call. Glad he did that, because it's still in pristine condition. Larson could get close. He could get 5. Yeah, I think people can get closer with this format, but I really think they need to go to a car that brings driver skill back into the equation. Yeah, Jimmy's 7 is definitely different than the 7 of Petty and Earnhardt. And I think even Earnhardt's were more valuable than Petty's, because it was a more competitive field, a lot more money in the sport. Haley leading isn't a huge surprise. Yeah, Cup experience, been in the sport for several years, so he's one of our veterans now. 15's really loose up front. Tanner Gray, that car was all over the track. 3 wide, further throughout the back of the field. Let's take a look back there real quick. Hocevar, 33rd. 3 laps down now. Not great. Don't think he's going to overcome that, so sad for Carson. Frankie, 27th. LaJoy, 26th. Pastrana running 24th. Ricky running 19th. McDowell. So we have 2 Cup guys, 18th, 17th. And then we have John Hunter Nemechek in 2nd currently. We're 3 wide. It's getting dicey. The big one's brewing. You'd flip Dale Earnhardt off. You're a Gordon fan? Yeah. There's a big rivalry between the two. Even if it wasn't a real rivalry, it was a manufactured one, but it was fun. NASCAR needs that. NASCAR needs rivalries. They need passion. When Kyle Busch comes off a turn 4 and people throw him the bird, that means people care. If you're just a loser no one cares about, no one's going to even look your direction. So that's what makes NASCAR NASCAR. You know what I'm saying? Carson's night got worse. It did. It was a bad day for Carson. Not as bad as Tony's day or Cletus. Oh no! I don't know if this is what you were talking about, Michael, but Carson Hocevar just got spun and made a clean entry on a pit road. You were in Dale's Pits that day in 01. And the last lap, you always went to your mother's home, and it was in the middle of turns 3 and 4. You saw the crash. You knew right away something was off. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. I ended up watching that documentary last night. I wasn't sure if I was going to watch it. I didn't know if I felt up to it. But it was all right. It felt a little like people making Dale's death about themselves. That was a bit odd. But it was done in a respectful way. So I think they picked the right people to interview. Motorhome? Yeah, I kind of figured. Now we're going side by side, which is a very weird decision because we're coming up on 10 laps to go. Hopefully this is their last commercial. Travis says Jimmy for the W. That would be crazy if Jimmy won Sunday. That would be crazy. I don't see it happening. I think Jimmy Johnson is snake bit at Daytona. He had a good run last year, but, you know, he wasn't competing for the win. So maybe he could make it work. That'd be really cool. I just really want to see Busch or Keselowski take the win. I'd be okay with Johnson, though. Ah, you live in El Cajon. Well, welcome from the West Coast, man. Dyslexia is horrible, bro. I don't have dyslexia, but I do read things out of order sometimes if she's going too fast. Gotta slow down sometimes. You saw Jimmy win 4 Brickyard 400s. That's awesome. Man, the Brickyard used to be such a big race. Such a big race. Right up there with the Indy 500. Kind of went downhill after 2008. You want one of the junior motorsports drivers to win? Definitely tomorrow for that race. Only junior motorsport driver on Sunday, though, is Allgaier. So it would be really cool to see Allgaier win, too. He's a long-time veteran. He has Cup experience. He has several years racing in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Xfinity Series, you know, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if everyone knows the new name yet. Yeah, it took Earnhardt 20 years, even though he almost had several other 500 wins before that. Oh my goodness, man. We have guys shoving each other off the track now. We're 3 wide. The field's getting stacked up. That outside lane is really stacked up. This could be the big one. There's no way. There's no way we make it. These guys are all over the track. Every year since 95. I think, what, 90... Was it 94 was the first year? Somewhere in there. 94, 95. Gordon got the first one. Earnhardt got the second one. Oh, that... Yeah, Hunter, you already said that. You're already over it, dude. Good job. I can't imagine what that was like. Being there in person. 250,000 people. I used to go to Talladega back in the peak of NASCAR, and there would be, you know, over 100,000 people there. Grandstands full, the backstretch grandstands full, infield full, campsites full for 2 miles. It was nuts. And Indy has like twice as many people. Dover used to pack in a bunch of people. You know, Bristol as well. Texas Motor Speedway. Attendance used to be just off the charts. the amount of people that would show up for a race weekend. Glad I was around to see how big NASCAR used to be. Imagine 400,000 at the Indy 500. Yeah. My wife's sister's husband is going to the Indy 500 this year. I'd like to go, but I don't think I'm going to make it this year. If I found last second tickets though that were cheap, I would make the drive. Leave at 5 in the morning. Get there in time for the race. All right, 5 to go. McDowell out front currently. We're 3 wide further back, but there's a 3-car breakaway on the inside groove. Then there are 2 wide, about 7 cars back. We have 1 car going around. 2 cars, 3 cars. Taylor Gray, Dawson Sutton, and Spencer Boyd. 2 of those guys were giving me issues today when I was doing my attempt on NASCAR 25. Dawson Sutton held me up, and Spencer Boyd almost made me crash. You got invited to camp out at the Indy 500? Dude, you should definitely go. You should definitely go. The Indy 500 is the biggest racing event we have in this country, you know? IndyCar doesn't have a ton of people that tune in every week, but people that haven't watched racing at all over the last year, they tune in for the Indy 500. It's a massive race. Indy's a very fun town. It's gotten a little sketchy the last couple years, but it's still safe enough to walk around during the daytime. You sit in the infield for the Brickyard, and they don't check your coolers. You always sneak in moonshine. NASCAR races are the best for taking things. You can take full meals. They let you take in all the drinks you want, all the water, all the snacks, all the food. So you're able to do pretty much whatever you want as long as it's not in a glass bottle. Yeah. So, I mean, once you get to the NASCAR race, you don't have to pay for concessions. You just bring a cooler and have a little picnic in the stands. I used to just take a backpack and I throw like 8 bottles of water in there. I might throw in a couple Gatorades. I'll have my scanner, maybe some sunglasses, my earmuffs. Used to sneak a cigar in back then. So back when I started going to NASCAR races, they still allowed smoking in the stands, and you'll still see some people do it, some of the old timers. But I mean, it just everybody was smoking back then. You'd be sitting there, and there'd be ash raining down from somewhere above in the grandstands. And Talladega used to have cups that didn't have lids, so you would have rubber from the tires raining down in your cup, and cigarette ash. So it made for an interesting drink. Ooh, I didn't see that. Mini Tyrell, hard contact with the outside wall. I think he'll be able to continue if he doesn't have steering damage. But he got into the wall really hard. Flat on the right side. Even more than already is. Jason said he used to march in the Boy Scout band. And you got to march on the track at the 500. That's awesome. Very awesome. My Boy Scout troop, we did some kind of an event where we got to camp in the infield at Talladega, but it wasn't during a race weekend. I don't think. So it was cool just to be at Talladega, but No race there. Love Talladega. Even though Daytona has the nicest facilities in the United States. Nicer than Circuit of the Americas, nicer than Indianapolis. It is awesome. You met Jim Neighbors in 96? Let's see if we have any replays posted for that last caution. Nothing from the Fox NASCAR page yet. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, we don't have anything from that last caution. RSS he was in the middle of the infield in turn 4 for the 79 500. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a very historic 500. Jason said Talladega's on his bucket list. You got to do it, man. It's an easy drive for you. It's a very easy drive. It's going to be long. It's going to be a long drive. Probably at least 8 hours. It's probably around 8 hours from Indy. Could be 9. I don't know. But anyway, it's not the worst because all you have to do is hop on Interstate 65 and drive south. You'll drive for probably 8-9 hours, and then you exit off and you're at the track in 20 minutes. So super easy drive. Super easy. You got to do it. I go every year. It's awesome. It's a completely different environment. It feels like the crowd, it's not as crazy as it used to be 20 years ago, but it's the closest to that environment you'll get outside of, I mean, really just that. Because other tracks I've been to, the crowd is much more calm. Less of a party atmosphere at the other tracks. Nice to have you, Travis. Nice to have you here. So I'm Travis. He's making a joke there. I'm old. I'm Travis. Nice to meet you, old. Hit him with a dad joke. That's funny. All right. So the guys who didn't pit. Be interesting to see if someone's going to run out of fuel. Lead changes, just announced it. So we're probably going to set a record for lead changes. You went to Bristol last year. Was a long drive. Yeah, Bristol's fun. I didn't go last year, but I've been most of the last 10 years. I either make it to I usually go to the fall race, but I've went to a few of the spring dirt races. Those were fun, but I prefer Bristol with its concrete configuration. I'd be glad if they went back to asphalt. That's what Dale Jr. wants, so I support it. Or just take it back to its configuration before they added the progressive banking. Make it a bottom groove dominant track again. All right, we're coming back to the green flag. This may be the last restart of the race. It's been a great stream, guys. We're going to be live tomorrow for the ARCA race, and we're also going to be live for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. So, hope to see you guys tomorrow after this. It could take multiple attempts. You're right, Michael. Yeah, no replay of that last wreck posted. Yeah, they just didn't. NASCAR overtime. I'm kind of surprised they didn't stack it up there on the restart. I'm waiting to see if someone's going to run out of fuel. Oh, we have some big runs. Some big pushes. It looks like we might make it back around to the flag. Nope. 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 I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Where's the caution flag? They threw the white flag. They threw the white flag. Okay. Maybe someone had a seagull like Dale did 1 year ago. Boo arguably stuck at work. Usually not the best race, so you're probably not going to miss much, but the O'Reilly Series race should be pretty fun. Gio Ruggiero way off track. He's going to merge like I do on NASCAR 25. John Hunter Nemechek out front. Way too far out ahead. Gio Ruggiero is going to get another run. John Hunter Nemechek will block. He needs to hold that inside lane. To the inside. Chandler Smith out of nowhere. They went like 4 wide at the end. Double A says he's stunned. That was a wild ending. Zane Smith. Not Zane Smith. Chandler Smith sneaking the win away from our Cup Series regulars. Let's take a look at our running order here. John Hunter Nemechek, 5th. Ricky Stenhouse, 6th. Travis Pastrana finishing 15th. Frankie Muniz right behind him in 16th. Not a bad run. Mini Tyrell with the damage, finishing 19th. And where did they score McDowell? 24th. Taken out on that last lap. That was crazy. Nemechek tried to go up and block. Well, I have to go back and watch that again. Did Chandler Smith just hit the outside wall? That is... Okay. Chandler Smith might be cheating. So let me explain. If you go back on your broadcast, if you're watching live, Chandler Smith intentionally went up and smacked the outside wall. He hit it with his right side, possibly to flatten it out and get it back into regulation. That is really sketchy. At least it looked like he went up and hit the wall. I'm going to go back and watch it again. That was super sketchy. What a finish. Yeah, he's the winner. That makes missing the 500 a little better. He definitely hits the wall. He definitely hit the wall. I hope NASCAR takes a look at that. That's sketchy. That is... Okay. The only reason he could do that is, number one, either he's stupid and he did it by accident, didn't look like an accident, or number two, his crew chief said go up and hit the wall. You know, probably told him before the race, if we win, you need to go hit the wall. That's wild. That's wild. I'm going to ask Bob Pockris. I'll also put Jeff Gluck on there. I'm going to tweet out, why did Chandler Smith hit the wall after taking the win? They tweeted at NASCAR Trucks, Bob Pockris, and Jeff Gluck. host. There we go, guys. I'm going to get Chandler Smith disqualified. Chandler Smith went up and hit the outside wall. After he took the win, he went up and sideswiped the outside wall. I remember what you're talking about, Jason. Yeah, Chad was like, you need to go up and like back it into the fence or something. Yeah, I'm on the case. No cheating in my NASCAR. That's a lie. Everybody cheats. It's just who gets away with it the best. Oh, dude. The Atlanta race is going to be great. I would love to go to it, but I don't want to miss the stream, so. Maybe I could sneak down for the Saturday race and then go live on Sunday. Nah, I probably shouldn't. I have a big trip coming up in a couple weeks, so we'll be live. We'll be live. That is so suspect. Somebody liked my tweet. And someone retweeted. Hey, whoever did that, shout out. That was double A. I'll like it. Retweet it back. Double A. You're on it, dude. So I'm over on YouTube. I'm over on Twitter as well. At AZtronics YouTube. YT. That was insane. What a great finish. What a race. I mean, I'm super disappointed Tony got wrecked out. I'm super disappointed for Cletus as well. You know, especially with how strong Carson Hocevar's car looked. Tough break for him. Tough break for McDowell. So our favorites, the guys that a lot of people would have picked to win this race, just ended up getting wrecked out there. Some of them really early in the race. How about Nick Lights, P11? Nick, I think at some point, I forget what lap it was, he got shuffled out and was able to rejoin safely. Not bad. There's just not enough rides to go around in NASCAR for, you know, all the guys that are actually deserving. Too many paid drivers. LaJoy out, Hocevar out, Tony Stewart out, Cletus out, Lane Riggs 4 laps down, 31st, Jason Kitzmiller 30th. Just not a great introduction for a lot of the Rams. Michael McDowell back here. Chris Wright actually didn't wreck anyone that I know of, so I'm sorry, Chris Wright. I apologize. I thought he was going to bring out the big one. Justin Haley, 22nd. Mini Tyrell, after flattening the right side, even with the damage in the late pit stop, finished 19th. So good recovery there. Travis Pastrana ran lower throughout the race, slowly worked his way up, ends up finishing 15th. Glad he actually finished the race. Pastrana's taken a few big hits at these super speedways. Nick Lights, yeah, 11th. Stuart Friesen in his return. You know, he missed like half of last year with injury. 10th. Caden Honeycutt, good run in the new 11 ride. Taking over for Corey Heim, whether or not he should have. And Ricky Stent, Brendan Queen, I mean, this is pretty big. I think that's our highest finishing Ram. 7th. Stenhouse, 6th. Hunter Nemechek, 5th. Ty Majeski taking over Matt Crafton's ride in the 88, finishing 4th. Then we have Chandler Smith, Giovanni Ruggiero, and Christian Eckes. So like Stacy and Christian were saying, look out for Christian Eckes this year. This could be his dominant return. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on it throughout the year. Jason, we'll see you on Sunday. We're going to miss you tomorrow, but we will hold it down for you. Kenny Ray ran out of fuel in the last lap in the middle of the field. I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. But yeah, I was wondering if someone would run out of fuel. I was thinking maybe someone would do it on the restart and stack up the field. So it is interesting that somebody actually did run out of fuel. What a race. That was a really fun one. That was one of the cleaner truck races we've seen. Tons of 3-wide, tons of shoving. The trucks were not handling well. That's what the Cup Series needs. The Cup Series needs to be the one that doesn't handle, the one that's, you know, a handful. But, you know, that's how it is. Yeah, Cole Butcher making his rookie appearance here in the 13. Thank you so much, Jason. We're trying. We're working on it. You know, I think I made some improvements to the leaderboard. We're going to work on it a bit more tonight after the stream. I'm going to try to get the race state working again. So the upper right-hand corner, it's supposed to show what flag we're under. Green flag, yellow flag, red flag. And it was working in the previous version. So I broke it somehow. So I had to investigate this. So hopefully we'll have that fixed by tomorrow. We will be live for the ARCA race. So I'll see you guys then, hopefully. And then we'll also be live for the O'Reilly race and the 500. So we have several streams coming up. Sunday after the 500, we're probably going to have our live show. So we have our number on screen. I hope to see you guys for that. Hopefully you guys can call in and share your thoughts on Sunday of the whole weekend, the 500 specifically, and just your predictions for the rest of the season. But other than that, guys, we're not going to do a post-race tonight, Justin. Thank you, Travis. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I couldn't do this without you guys. I would still do it. I have been on YouTube for like 14 years, 15 years. And most of the time I had no one watching, or I might have one person watching. So it's good to have you guys here with me. I really enjoy covering NASCAR. It's my favorite sport. I love college football. Don't get me wrong. I like basketball, I like baseball. But I don't keep up with them as closely as I do with NASCAR. And, you know, the season runs almost the whole year. So, I mean, we have a good season ahead of us. I'm really excited for it. The playoffs are gone. Winning you're in is gone. We can actually be excited for underdog winners. So it's going to be a ton of fun this year. So I'm going to send you guys over to the Y-Files. If you guys want to tune in and listen to some cool stories, some urban legends, some conspiracy theories, hang in there, and it should automatically transfer you guys over. But if not, I hope to see you guys in one of the later streams in that we have coming up this weekend. That's one way to put it. Sergeant Bob, congrats to Chandler and John. That's right. That's right. All right, guys, that'll do it.